All right, I'm getting ready to bend some sides for a OM style guitar. Quick rundown of the process I use. This is a homemade side bending template. Doesn't make sense now, but I'll explain it all. But I've already added the springs to it. These are the rolling clamps to pull it down. Here's the walnut I'll be bending. I've gone ahead, run it under the water in the sink, so it's all wet on both sides. And then I sandwich it into some tin foil. And that tin foil is gonna go be sandwiched between these two slats of spring steel and this heating element blanket. And the heating element blanket will be plugged into the heat control. So I'm gonna put the phone down. I'm gonna on the tripod, and I'll do my best to kind of show what's going on here. Always make sure you have a, again, when you're using heat and everything and wood, have a fire extinguisher handy, which I do. So if you're not. All right, so I've got the walnut sandwiched in here. Sandwiching, and I'll come over there and show. I've got spring steel, and then the wood, and then the heating blanket, and then the spring steel. What I also do to make sure that it stays together is I use these really fancy clamps, and I put them at the very ends just to kind of keep things all nice and tidy and neat. I'll lay it on there like that. What I'm gonna do now is plug it into this device here. It's got low, medium, high settings, variable, off, and full. I always put on variable. And I kind of always put it right between medium and high. And it gets hot super quick. It does not take long. Make sure you're oriented as far as where the waist is going to be. Yeah, it's already hot to the touch. Make sure everything's kind of squared up with your template. I'm actually going to turn it up higher. All right, and then what I just use this leather caul. And so once it gets hot enough, I'll start pressing down. And then I'll use some clamps on either side to really tighten it in. So just give it a minute here. All right, so starting to get really toasty. Very toasty. Get the clamps ready. And again, I realize there's fancier ways or fancier jigs you can buy, but I don't know. Try to be resourceful, and I don't have the All right, so it's getting hot. And what I'm doing is, you can kind of see this bend going up. Super hot. You could probably use a thermometer to see how hot it is, unless you don't have to use your hand. And when I get to the very deepest part of the valley of the waste, just be a little more careful and make sure the wood is pliable enough. And again, I always kind of expect you're gonna have to bend some by hand once you do this, especially the waste of it. All right, so now, I think this is the fun part. And the true, prepped. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna let that cook for about a minute. I'll turn it down to right between the medium and high, and I have a timer set. You can hear it sizzling and some steam. So just repeat that process for the other side, and should be good to go.